Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining us for another story here at Annie Narrates. The title for this one goes like this. I was a scapegoat throughout my life because of my sister who was a golden child, and I finally snapped when she demanded for my newborn because she thinks I am not capable of raising him. Hi everyone, I, Charlotte, 36 female, need to share this story with you. Something really terrible happened in my life, but to truly understand it, I need to tell you the story from the beginning. Growing up in our small town with my mom, dad, and my younger sister Angela, life was a mix of ordinary and extraordinary. I wasn't the most academically bright student, and I didn't have any outstanding talents, but what I did have was a strong passion for fashion. From a young age, I found joy in playing around with different outfits. It was like painting a picture with clothes, mixing and matching colors and styles. My closet was my playground, and I enjoyed experimenting with various combinations to express myself through my fashion choices. While my academic achievements may not have stood out, my sense of style became my unique way of making a statement. Angela, 32 female, my little sister, had a brilliant mind when it came to academics. She effortlessly tackled problems for my classes, making our parents incredibly proud. Angela wasn't just book smart, she excelled in competitions, showcasing her intellectual skills. Her successes often took us to different cities for various contests. Angela's involvement in competitions meant that our family frequently found ourselves exploring new places. While she was busy demonstrating her academic skills, I took the opportunity to explore the local fashion scene. I'd visit boutiques, observe people's styles, and draw inspiration from my own outfits. It turned into a personal adventure, with each city contributing to the growth of my evolving fashion sense. As Angela continued to excel in her academic pursuits, I quietly celebrated my own victories in the world of style. My passion for fashion became a constant companion during times when Angela was away for competitions. I'd spend hours sketching designs, experimenting with fabrics, and daydreaming about my own fashion shows. It was my way of turning moments of solitude into creative expressions. In my junior year, things took a turn when my sister Angela got accepted into this special school for smart kids. I had to leave all my friends and my old life behind. It was kind of okay because I knew it was a good thing for her. But what bothered me was that my parents started putting all their focus on her because she was super smart. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved Angela, and I was proud of her for being so smart. But sometimes, it felt like she got all the attention. Any extra money our family had went straight to Angela. I remember this one time when I really wanted a laptop. I asked my mom, and she said that we couldn't afford it. Fast forward to less than 6 months and boom, Angela gets this super fancy laptop for her birthday. I was like, what about me? On my birthdays, my mom would just give me some money and say, go out with your friends. But when it was Angela's birthday, it was like a whole festival at our home. Big decorations, lots of guests, and everyone making a big deal. I felt like I was just getting the leftovers. But there was this other time I wanted to join an after-school club. It cost some money, but I thought it would be fun and maybe help me make new friends. But when I asked my parents, they said no, because they needed to save up for Angela's summer camp. I felt like I was always taking the backseat. It wasn't just about material things either. Family time started revolving around Angela's schedule. If she had a big test or an event, everything else got tossed aside. My needs and desires became invisible, like I was living in Angela's shadow. I tried talking to my parents about it, but they would just say, Angela needs this for her future. I felt like the invisible kid in the family. Even when we had disagreements or arguments, it seemed like I was always the one who got blamed. Angela, with her perfect grades and academic achievements, was the golden child. I was the scapegoat, always getting the short end of the stick. It wasn't fair, and it made me feel like my voice didn't matter. All these instances piled up, and it made me feel isolated and overlooked. I wish my parents could see that I had dreams and aspirations too, even if I wasn't a genius like Angela. It felt like I was standing on the sidelines while Angela took center stage. And that was a tough pill to swallow. Heading off to a really good college was a big deal for me But it came with its own set of challenges. You see, my parents couldn't help out with my college fees because they were busy setting up a college fund for Angela. Since both my parents were earning enough, I couldn't qualify for any financial aid. So, I found myself in a tough spot. I was able to get a student loan, but it didn't help me with my other expenses. To make ends meet, I had to take not one, but two part-time jobs while trying to keep up with my studies. Balancing work and college was like trying to juggle too many balls at once. There were times when I felt overwhelmed, trying to keep up with assignments, classes, and the demands of my part-time gigs. Studying fashion design and styling was my passion, but it wasn't easy to focus on my dreams when I had to worry about paying for college. I often faced issues with time management, finding myself caught in the middle of work shifts and late-night study sessions. It felt like I was running on a treadmill that never slowed down. What made it even tougher was the lack of support from my parents. While they were setting up Angela's Golden College Fund, I was left to figure out my own way. It was like my dreams were put on hold, and I had to rely on my own grit and determination to make things work. The financial strain was real. I had to budget every penny, making sure I could cover my tuition, buy my textbooks, and still have enough for my basic needs. There were moments when I wondered if pursuing my passion for fashion design was worth all the struggles. During exam times, the pressure doubled. While I was burning the midnight oil, my parents were busy with Angela's academic achievements, seemingly oblivious to the challenges that I faced. It would have meant the world to me if they had shown even a bit of understanding or support. Imagine trying to ace your exams while working late shifts and dealing with the constant worry of making ends meet. It was tough to say the least. There were times when I questioned why my parents couldn't see my struggles and extend a helping hand. Despite all the challenges, I pushed through. I knew my dreams were worth the hard work, even if my parents weren't there to cheer me on. Graduating with a degree in fashion design and styling became my triumph, a victory over the odds stacking against me. Looking back, it's clear that the path that I chose was challenging, but it also made me stronger. It taught me the value of hard work, determination, and the importance of pursuing my passion no matter the obstacles. While my parents were busy channeling their resources into Angela's academic journey, I forged my own path, proving that sometimes you have to be your own biggest supporter. When my sister headed off to college, she got a full scholarship to one of the top colleges in the country. She was really smart, and it was like she had a golden ticket to education without our parents having to spend any money. My parents continued to shower her with attention and care. After I finished my own schooling, I decided to dive into the world of fashion. I got a job at a small boutique because I wanted to learn all the secrets of creating and running my own brand someday. I thought working with a small business would be the best way to soak up all that knowledge. I spent 4 whole years soaking up all the tricks of the trade, and then I thought, hey, I'm ready to launch my own brand. Starting my own brand wasn't all rainbows and sunshine though. It was pretty tough. I had to figure out everything from scratch, designing clothes, managing orders, dealing with suppliers, and a whole bunch of other things. It was like learning to ride a bike, but the bike was on fire, and I had to put out the flames while pedaling. One of the biggest struggles was getting people to notice my brand. Imagine having this awesome party, but no one showed up. That's how it felt when I launched my brand. I had these beautiful clothes, but it seemed like nobody knew they existed. It was disheartening. Then there was the challenge of getting sales. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but my little shop felt like a ghost town. I tried everything, from online promotions to local events, but the sales were slower than a snail on a lazy Sunday afternoon. It felt like my dream was slipping away, and I was stuck in a never-ending struggle. But then, one magical day, something unexpected happened. I posted a TikTok video of myself wearing one of my dresses, just for fun. And guess what? It went viral. People from all over started sharing it, and suddenly, I had more orders than I could handle. It was like a dream come true, but I had to work day and night to keep up with the sudden burst of demand. Since that viral TikTok moment, my business has been booming. It's like the sun came out after a long rainy day. Now, I'm sending out dresses left and right, and people are loving what I create. It just goes to show that even when things seem tough, a little bit of luck and a whole lot of hard work can turn the tables. I am living my dream now, and it all started with a simple TikTok video that took my brand from struggling to thriving. My sister Angela is on a different path too. She went to college and got herself a doctorate in microbiology. Now she works at this huge pharma company, doing science stuff that's way over my head. But you know what? My parents can't stop talking about how amazing and successful she is. Our family dinners, it's like the Angela show, all about her success and riches. I didn't need my family's applause to be happy. Nope, I found joy in my own life, with my work and my super awesome husband. Yep, I got married to my husband 8 years ago, and we have 2 amazing kids. Life's good, even if my parents don't have a spotlight shining on me at every family gathering. Oh, and Angela? She's got her own family now too. She tied the knot with her husband 3 years ago, so we're both navigating this journey called life, just in different ways. While Angela's climbing the success ladder in her science world, I am building my happiness with my little family and my work. Sure, there were times when family dinners felt like the Angela show, but I learned to appreciate the simple joys in my own life. I've got a loving husband, 2 adorable kids, and a job that brings me satisfaction. It might not make headlines at the dinner table, but it's my story, and I'm content with it. Here's the deal. Even though I've always felt like the family's scapegoat and often felt like I'm the second to my sister, Angela, I never hated her. Well, maybe there were a few times when I felt a bit jealous of all the attention she got from my parents, but deep down, I knew it wasn't her fault. We were never super close, but we managed to keep things decent between us. Then something amazing happened. When I got pregnant with my second child, everything changed. Angela, my little sister, started talking to me more. She began visiting me more often, and it felt like a whole new chapter in our relationship was unfolding. I was genuinely happy to see her taking an interest in my life. Angela stepped up in a big way during my pregnancy. It was like she became my pregnancy superhero. She went above and beyond to be there for me in every possible way. When it was time for doctor's appointments, she was right there, driving me and keeping me company. It was such a relief to have her by my side during those important moments. But that's not all. Angela didn't just stop driving me around. She got involved in everything baby related, from helping me pick out adorable baby clothes to setting up the nursery. She was there every step of the way. It was like having a partner in crime for all things baby. And when those pregnancy cravings hit, Angela was on a mission. She'd surprise me with my favorite snacks, making sure I was comfortable and well taken care of. It was such a blessing to have her support, especially when the pregnancy tiredness kicked in. As my due date approached, Angela's involvement only grew. She helped me organize the baby shower, making it a special and memorable day. It wasn't just about the big events. She was there for the everyday stuff too, offering a helping hand with chores, providing a listening ear when I needed to vent, and sharing in the excitement of preparing for the new addition to our family. Honestly, I never expected this level of involvement from Angela. It was like a bridge had been built between us, connecting us in a way we hadn't experienced before. I felt grateful for her support and genuinely touched by the effort she put into being there for me. When I had my baby, Angela was one of the first people to visit me. At first, I was really grateful for her help because being a new mom is a bit overwhelming. But things started to get a bit weird after that. Angela, out of the blue, decided she wanted to name my baby. I had my heart set on calling her Bella, but Angela was all about naming her Lily. She even started calling her Lily and said that it could just be a cute nickname her aunt uses. It felt like she was taking over a big decision that was supposed to be mine. So, while everyone else was calling her Bella, Angela would only call her Lily. But that wasn't the only thing. Angela started telling me that I was doing everything wrong, from the way that I held the baby to the diapers I chose. She had an opinion on everything. It made me feel like I was failing at being a mom, and that's not a great feeling. Then there was the sleep situation. Angela thought that I was too lenient with my baby's sleep schedule. She believed in strict routines and would lecture me about how I needed to get my baby on fixed schedules. It felt like she was trying to control every aspect of my parenting. Even the way that I dressed the baby became a topic of discussion. Angela had this whole list of do's and don'ts for baby fashion. and I found myself questioning my choices every time she commented on the baby's outfits. It was like she had this manual for being a perfect mom, and I was failing to follow it. Her constant interference started affecting my confidence as a new mom. I began second-guessing myself, wondering if I was really doing everything wrong. Angela's intentions might have been good, but it felt like she was critiquing my every move, and it was taking a toll on my happiness. So, after putting up with Angela's constant interference, I finally reached a point where I had enough. I decided to have a calm and polite talk with her, expressing my gratitude for her help, but also asserting that I knew what I was doing as a mom. Little did I know that this conversation would take a turn for the worse. I told Angela, "Hey, thanks for all your help, but I've been a mom before, and I've got this. You don't need to stress about your niece. Just enjoy your time with her." I thought it was a reasonable request, but Angela's response left me in shock. She looked at me, dead serious, and said, "You're doing it all wrong. It'd be better if you just gave me the baby. You're not capable of raising her." I couldn't believe my ears. I mean, who says something like that to their own sister? I snapped. I couldn't hold back anymore. "Angela, this is my child, and I'm perfectly capable of being her mom. I appreciate your help, but you're crossing a line. I won't let you take over and question my abilities as a mother. I need you to respect my decisions." Angela didn't back down. She argued, "You're making mistakes and I'm just trying to help you. You should be grateful. I care enough to step in when you're clearly messing things up." I was furious. Help is one thing, Angela, but this is beyond that. You can't just barge in and tell me that I'm not fit to be a mom. This is my family and I won't let you disrupt it. The conversation turned into a heated back and forth. I tried to explain that her help was more like control and I couldn't tolerate it. Angela, on the other hand, defended her actions, insisting that she knew better. Now, in my anger, I started yelling at her about everything. I told her how, because of her, I was always all alone and had no support from the family. I even told her that I hated her my entire childhood, and while I used to feel guilty because of that, the way she is acting right now makes me feel like I was in the right to hate her. In the end, the disagreement escalated, and Angela left in tears. I know what I did was right. However, I do wish that I had been a bit kinder. What do you guys think? Was I too harsh? Or was I right in snapping at my sister? About an hour after I wrote this post, my phone rang. It was my dear mother calling, and I picked up, not expecting what was about to unfold. She asked, "What did you say to Angela?" When I spilled the beans about our conversation, her response left me in disbelief. My own mother said that she knew Angela was going to ask me for my newborn, and if I had any sense, I should consider her offer. I was like, "Excuse me? Since when did asking for someone else's babies become a normal thing?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was beyond anything I could have ever imagined. She also said that since Angela and her husband are such well-respected professionals in their fields, they will be able to provide well for my baby. I told them that I didn't need them to take care of my baby. I can do it well on my own. I blew up on the phone. How could you even think that this was okay? All my life, I've been overshadowed. Now that I have a life of my own, I don't need you or Angela messing it up. I was furious. It felt like all those years of feeling overshadowed and overlooked were coming to a head. I told her in no uncertain terms not to call me ever again. She argued back, saying I couldn't do that and I couldn't stop her from seeing her grandkids. I couldn't believe the audacity. I am their mother and I can absolutely do that, I snapped, and with that, I cut the call. The weight of the conversation hung heavy in the air. It was a breaking point, a moment of asserting my independence and the boundaries I needed for my own family. I never thought I'd have to draw such a line with my own mother, but it was a necessary step to protect my newfound happiness. Cutting ties with my mother was not easy, but I needed to stand my ground. I couldn't let her and Angela disrupt the life that I had built for myself. It was time to break free from the shadow of being second best and step into my role as a mother with authority. Things took a really serious turn in my life recently. My own family crossed the line by calling Child Protective Services, CPS, on me. It was like a big shock. I didn't expect it, and it felt really hurtful. Yesterday, a CPS officer showed up at my door, saying they got reports about mistreatment or abuse of a baby in my care. I was baffled and scared because I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. When the CPS officer came, they asked me a bunch of questions. They wanted to know about how I take care of my baby, what our daily routine is like, and if there were any incidents that could be considered mistreatment. It was tough to answer those questions because I felt like someone was questioning my ability to be a good parent. I told them the truth, that I love kids, take care of them and try my best to make sure they're safe and happy. Take care of them and try my best to make sure they're safe and happy. I explained that I had no idea where these reports were coming from and that I was shocked by the accusations. The CPS officer checked everything in my home, from the baby's room to the kitchen. They looked for signs of mistreatment or unsafe conditions. It felt like they were checking every nook and cranny. But you know what? They found nothing wrong. My baby's room was filled with toys and love, and our home was a safe and happy place. Even though they found nothing, the CPS officer told me they would be making surprise visits to check on us. It felt like they didn't fully believe me, and it made me nervous. I couldn't understand why my own family would do something like this. It was like they wanted to cause trouble in my life. Feeling overwhelmed and hurt, I just couldn't sit there. I needed answers, so I told my husband to look after the kids, and I hopped into the car, driving straight to my parents' house. I was mad, confused, and hurt all at once. When they opened the door, I couldn't hold back. I started yelling, asking them what kind of heartless thing they did to their own kid. At first, they pretended not to know what I was talking about. They all acted innocent, but deep down, I could see in my mother's face that she was involved. I told them straight up that they called CPS on me. My mom tried to deny it, but I knew the truth. I felt so betrayed, like they were trying to tear my family apart. I looked my mother in the eyes and said, "You're dead to me now. Don't ever try to contact me or my kids again." It was a painful moment, but I needed to stand up for my family. Now I'm in a tough spot. I don't know what to do next. The fear of losing my kids is eating at me. CPS is coming for surprise visits, and I need to make sure everything is in order. I'm doing everything possible to show them that my home is a safe and loving place for my children. I'm scared, angry, and hurt, but I won't let anyone take away my family. I'll fight tooth and nail to prove that my kids are safe and loved in our home. It's a battle I never thought I would have to face, especially against my own family. But the well-being of my children is my top priority. I'll do whatever it takes to ensure they grow up in a happy and secure environment. Hi everyone, I know it's been a while since I posted an update, but I'm here with the good news. After ages of worrying, I finally got the news I was desperate for. Child Protective Services finished looking into things and didn't find anything wrong. It was such a relief to know they weren't keeping an eye on my family anymore and that my kids wouldn't be taken away. The CPS worker told me they're closing the case because they were happy with how things were at home. This whole stressful thing is finally over, and now we can just focus on being a family again. Right when all the stress was gone, Angela actually reached out to me. She seemed really sorry for how she acted and how it made things worse in the family. She even admitted she messed up big time and knows she hurt me. It was nice to hear, but I know it'll take a while to fix things between us. While we were trying to patch things up, Angela opened up about something really personal. She's been struggling for years to get pregnant, and it's been tearing her apart. It made all that resentment just melt away, seeing how vulnerable she was. Turns out, behind that perfect life she shows everyone, she's been heartbroken because she wants to have a baby so badly. She tried to have a baby the normal way for ages, but it never happened. It was tough to hear how she kept getting her hopes up and then let down. She even tried IVF twice, but that didn't work either. Now the doctor says it might even be impossible for her to get pregnant. It was kind of a personal thing to share, and I could tell she really meant when she said how sorry she was. I told her not to worry, she's still young and has lots of time. Even after all the hard times, she's still my sister, and I want her to be happy. However, I told her things can't just go back to being normal right away. All those years of hurt, it will take you some time to get back to normal. Her apology was nice, but I need time to work through things and trust her again. My mom, on the other hand, we're still not talking. She's tried to get in touch, but I'm just not ready. It's too much to forgive right now, and I need to put my family first. It was really hard, but my husband and kids were amazing through everything. We're closer than ever, and that helps a lot. It won't be easy to forget all this, but I am ready to move forward. I know I'm strong, and we'll be okay. And that was a wrap up for today's story. Thank you very much for listening. Smash that like button and subscribe for more stories. Thanks again, and we'll be seeing you in the next one.